Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is One Accord Level 2 podcast. Hope everybody's being blessed, safe, and well. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's having a beautiful, blessed day. Many prayers for comfort, healing, strength, and peace to all who need it. So, me and my friend Tim were on the phone talking about people who are in prominent positions in the church and talking about different things. So, we're just going to head and get into all that. So, pretty much what I was saying to him was this. Long story short, there are so many people who are in church for the show. They're in church to be seen. They're in church to be heard. They're in church to shake that thing, to have their chest bouncing around, wearing tight clothes, wearing revealing clothes. They're in church to rock them heels, rock them clothes, prancing around the church, twitching and itching, want to call out everybody else's problems but their own. They're in church to make a fool of themselves, and some of them are fools, yes. And they're doing whatever in the church. They're grifters. They come into church to get underneath the pastor, get close to him so they can steal money, so they can do other different things. No, this does not happen in every other church. You know what I'm saying? That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are some churches who they're just allowing people to just do whatever, and it's a whatever thing, and it's a show, and it's not what God wants or how he wants things to be. And so we were just talking about that, and I was just telling him, about the little things that have been going on with the church. And they're driving Rolls Royces and they're asking for donations for this, and that. And the stuff's not adding up. They got the leaders who are leading the people in prominent positions who don't need to be in prominent positions. And so they got all this stuff going on. They're not a good example for the kids. They're not a good example for other adults, but yet and still they're just walking around just doing whatever in the church. It's just what it is. It's a free-for-all. It's a freak show. So then we turned the conversation to, like I said, as if I was talking and giving advice to someone or those people. But John, who are you to judge? Oh no, I'm not judging. I'm just looking at what I see. And so what I said was, hey, do you want to be remembered? You want to be in legendary status? Well, live right by God's standards and what he said in his Bible in the Bible and what he said in his word. You want to be legendary. You want to go viral. You want to, you want to do all this stuff so bad, but you don't even want to do the basic necessity stuff that God asked you to do. So there's that. Okay. So we got that out the way. And then, we just talked about, hey, all of this being in the forefront, you're going to have to scale it back. But Jesus said, come as I am. Oh, okay. Jesus said, come as you are, but that don't mean you got to wear tight and revealing clothes. That doesn't mean you got to have on boatloads of perfume. That doesn't mean you got to have on boatloads of cologne. People are to come to church so they can be saved and that they can be redeemed and that God can fill their heart with hope and promise. But that can't happen when you are, or these people are, the main focus of taking the focus away from God and his hope and his promise. If all that they remember when they come to church is the tight clothes that you had on and the heels that you were wearing and how you looked and how you smelled, and they didn't remember nothing else, then it was a failure. If all they remember was how the guys looked and how they smelled and the clothes that they were wearing and all the luxurious stuff that's in there, then it was a failure. If all you're worried about is what type of car you drive and all that stuff, it's a failure. So what I was trying to relay him to, to the message to him was to Tim, which we both, agreed on, was that, listen, you got to be humble. And you got to make sure that you're doing the right thing while you're in a prominent position in the church. You cannot sit up here and play these wretched games with these people. You're asking for donations for whatever, but then you come up pulling up in a Rolls Royce, or you're pulling up in a, in a brand new 2025 whatever car. Nobody has time for that. The people are already untrusting of the church, and they already think that there's too many people with pride, and egos in there. But yet and still, you still trying to get over on people. And this is the reason why they don't trust. Somebody has to do the right thing when it comes to the church. You know what I'm saying? God says he wants to have that church how he wants it to be. Okay? Then people need to get to work. All this, like I said, this parading down, this prancing around, this, trying to, be whatever and be some sort of superstar. Like I said, it's all a joke in the game to them, and they're still losing. You want people to have their money together, but you don't even have any money. You want people to have their looks together, but you're, you're one cigarette away from being in a hospital, and you're one alcoholic drink away from your kidney shutting down. You want people to get themselves together, but you still haven't lost any weight, and you still haven't done anything to fix up yourself. How come all the judgment is coming from the people who don't have their lives together or don't have their stuff together? And that was the whole point we were making. It's too much of this imbalance that is coming from the church. So we just said we're going to have to pray harder for them. We're going to have to pray for them so that they may change their ways. I have my own sins, and I have my own faults, and I have my own failures to worry about. Yes, I do. And I'm no better than nobody else. I really am not. But we were just stating about what is seen in the church. And all we see for some churches, again, not all, some, is just the parading around, the prancing around. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And you got no substance. You got nothing. You're not helping save any souls. You're not helping people get over. You're not helping people get through. And you're mismanaging everything. And you're wasting people's time. So you're going to sit around here and just be like, oh, it's just whatever. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. No, you have to do right. And you got to make sure that, there are certain things together. Like I said, everybody wants everybody else to have all this stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And all this stuff. And no, we need to see some progress, and we need to see some things change. Now, here's the other thing. If you are not willing to confess about your own heart issues and your own past and your own failures and all that stuff, then how are you going to ask other people to do the same thing? You want people to live holy and saved and live the lifestyle, but you are also not living that same lifestyle. That goes for me, and that goes for anybody else. I can't ask you to do something that you are not even doing for yourself. I just cannot. So with that being said, that's when you have to step back and you have to ask God to fix your heart issues before you go and lead the people inside the church. And like I told him before, even if I did speak at a church or I was a pastor or whatever, instead of y'all taking a donation from me, how about y'all take that same donation and take it to outside to the people who are homeless? How about we go buy them some meals and buy them some clothes and get them some stuff? Eventually, you're going to have to make some smarter moves when it comes to the stuff. That's just it. Point blank, period, simple, straight facts, 100%. It's not hard to say the hard things. It's just about telling the truth. This is One Accord Level 2 Podcast. Hope everybody's being blessed, safe, and well. Stay strengthened, stay encouraged. I'll see you on the flip side.